The kind of match that you pay good money to watch, the kind of match that puts butts in seats, and the match that everybody has been waiting to see ever since we saw these two rosters lock up against each other. We've got Optic Gaming and Shopify Rebellion sound on main stage here in Arlington, but a little bit earlier than we were expecting to see it.
Yeah, this is the match we came for. This was the match that was guaranteed regardless of how the brackets fell, but it should not be happening this early. Make no mistake, it is only happening this early because Optic Gaming taken down, as you just heard on the desk, by Nemesis in pool play. They do not exit perfect. They now have to face their biggest rival, and what we would say is maybe the hottest rivalry in quite some time, with bad blood on each side, in Shopify Rebellion.
Now, this is a dramatic series. Whatever happens here will have such a big effect on not just maybe the psyche of both of these teams, but the tournament overall as well. One of these teams will be going to the elimination bracket this early on a Saturday. We'll have to think about the comeback of all comebacks if they want to be the champions at the end of Sunday. These are the game types. This is the series that we will see in our winners quarterfinal. Shopify versus Optic. It's some very interesting things that you've noticed from this series.
It really is, and this feels like it has even more riding on it now based on where we're seeing these two play in the winners quarterfinal. We'll dive into that series layout and the specifics of it as we go through the series. It's Shopify versus Optic Gaming, and the question is, how does Optic Gaming bounce back? Do they shake off the loss against Nemesis? Let's not forget, the Optic Gaming story changes completely if they are to win this series.
The only times these two teams have met on land so far was just a few weeks ago. The first one went the way of Optic Gaming with a reverse sweep, and then Shopify Rebellion in a Game 7 managed to take that final series. So when it comes to games on land, they are split right down the middle. Who is going to give first here? On our main stage here in Arlington, at the first major of the season, it's time for us to find out.
And players on each side of the stage receiving their rings from last season. Of course, now on different sides of the stage of the tournament completely. We're underway here, starting things off with Frosty of Shopify Rebellion. It's the first official meeting of Shopify and Optic Gaming in 2025.
The one that everybody was waiting to see. And what a game type it is to start off with as well. Oddball, we know that this is one of the most testing and taxing game types that we have in the Halo Championship Series, with two teams that are so evenly matched. One rotation, one kill, one sniper rifle can make the difference, and Renegade has started exactly how he would have wanted to.
Greenwall going to be happy about that opening. Also hits a body on Royal 2, but will have to rotate. Worth noting, these two teams did not play this game type at the Kson Showdown, so it'll be the first time we also see them play this specific BAP game type combo. 3 down again for Shopify.
Cykul just milks a little bit of extra ball time. 15 points on the board for Shopify Rebellion, but you would imagine Optic with that 4 there, they're going to be able to get that ball back in their hands and get their first points in this first round. Former with the camo still to work with, that's just dissipated, and still a sniper rifle in the hands of Renegade. 3 dead again for Shopify Rebellion.
Shopify only recording their second kill of the game just now. That's how heavy the outslay is happening, and it took a little bit of time, but we will see a lead change as well, as Optic Gaming will go into an early lead.
Now, as if Optic needed something to remind them how tough the competition is going to be. That lost a Nemesis will certainly have refocused them as a killing spree here for Renegade. Gives them a little bit of comfort with that ball hold. 23 points on the board for them, and rising is a commanding hold here for Optic.
We have to mention as well, the chip on the shoulder of Optic Gaming. To be honest, the early drama with Nemesis has distracted from the Shopify Optic rivalry already. Let's not forget, there is a chip on Optic Gaming's shoulder after splitting games. 3 dead again for Shopify. After splitting games at the Kson Showdown, yet placing second place. That now comes back into focus, back into view. It's 30-15 in favor of Optic.
1 bullet to play with here for Renegade. Left in the sniper, been effective with it so far. Does have a repulse as well, and he may not need to fire that bullet. In fact, he gets 180 on himself. Repulse Sticky comes in from LastShot to get out of that situation, and Cykul is last alive here off the back of the double kill from Formor, and Shopify Rebellion at the moment just really struggling to pick up slays. It's 3 dead again for them.
Cykul will trade, but as you say, 3 dead. Those first 3 spawners, they're going to be staggered spawners as well. They'll maybe wait for Cykul, but it's a rotation of the ball over here into cuts, maybe to C as well. He has a lot of help. He's going to be able to stay alive and continue scoring.
Yeah, one thing I love about the way that Lqgend plays when he has that objective in his hand, he's so aware of where teammate spawns are coming in, and his spacing with that oddball between him and the teammates that are coming back onto the map. It's going to be a pretty good-looking lead in this round number 1, but that's a good-looking stick from Royal 2, who, after leaving the present, QT straight out of there and refocuses his attention to more kills.
Nicely done. There's 2 dead, maybe 3 in a second if they're able to time these kills. Bound also being a nuisance, but it looks like he might be cleaned up soon. A lot of help. The Bash brothers on A bags. They stay alive. 4 dead for Shopify. What a response immediately from Optic on the hold.
And off the back of it, Renegade moves top middle, grabbed himself the big stick and said, hey, let's have some more fun. It's the second sniper rifle in a row that Optic Gaming have managed to grab off of that spawn. Almost 60 points on the board for them already. Here Optic, and with Renegade holding these angles on the big door. Couple of big shots here, and Optic might be closing on a first round win.
Oh boy, in the toes, that'll count. Oh, body as well, and so much damage coming out of him. Frosty knows he needs to be careful on how he pokes and peeks from A-Bags here. 67-15 already on the board.
Royal 2 gets a pick. Renegade maybe looking to just waste a little bit of ammo here as he knew the pressure was about to come in. It's Frosty who grabs the oddball and moves it back towards the garage, and now he has a chance with this sniper rifle to put on some highlights of his own. First target, first victim.
3 dead right away, and what a story this would be if Shopify was able to bring this game back. And so far, they're putting together the pieces to do it. It's still 3 dead, and it's a full rotation from Frosty as well. They're down by 37.
First time we've seen Shopify get a 3 or 4 dead situation in this game overall. And now we're seeing them turn it into efficient objective play as well. Points on the board, another body shot, another kill. LastShot starting to warm up a little bit as well. Quite start to this game for him, but he's moving closer and closer to being even in his kill-death ratio. Ball will be played, though, smartly by Renegade, so even though the kills were being picked up by Shopify Rebellion, it is going to be the ball that gets played.
Really nice angling. Frosty gets kept alive by Cykul, who is at B on pillars. That allows him to continue rotating around as well. And now still on the hunt, and the game is back within reason for Shopify.
Formal versus Frosty. Ooh, it's gonna be Frosty who comes out on top of that one. You can imagine the reticle was trained at the top of that scoreboard. For Formal, maybe expecting Frosty to challenge, but he just slides off at the bottom of it. Gets such a cheeky little angle to give himself an advantage in that 1v1, and the 1v1, he manages to win. Camo now coming up in a few moments for both these teams.
World 2 needs to rotate this ball. He knows, careful away from big door as well as A-Bags. That rotation will begin, and they still have a man advantage for this camo pop.
11-6 for Renegade at the start of this game. That's why you're seeing the lead for Optic Gaming, but you're starting to see Shopify grow back into this. Lqgend flies across the sandbags. He'll be taken down, and Cykul with the camouflage. And Royal 2 with the oddball in their hands. This is looking like Shopify in the next few moments might be thinking about a lead change here.
Oh boy, big killing kills, a killing frenzy from Cykul. You wonder what was going on from his POV. He's 12-9 here, a killing frenzy to get them right back in this game. They were trailing by 50. And now essentially tied up here at 68.
It's 3 dead again, and that's the quietest killing frenzy I think we've ever seen in Halo. Goes about his business, puts 10 without response on the board, and it's Cykul who is the catalyst here for the comeback from Shopify Rebellion. They are now into the lead. Couple of grenades go down from Cykul, looking to add to the run that he's been on. It's good damage. Frosty collapses on one. We'll get the second as well.
What a dagger this would be as they go into the lead for Optic Gaming to fall the way that they might do. 4 dead again. Formal's your first spawner, and there might only be 1 or 2 pushes max left in this game.
Cykul's found himself a snipe as well. And with Optic having to get more and more desperate to get that ball out of the hands of Shopify Rebellion, a body shot, a headshot, anything that connects here for Cykul will bring them closer and closer to that win. There's a body. Oh my sweet Jesus, what on earth is that reaction time?
Unbelievable whip. Now Frosty's turn. Equally terrifying. Pressure is coming in from cuts and dummies. He's going to need to try to stay alive here. Still anyone's round. He's going to play the snipe.
No!
Even though he had the player momentum, but the snipe stays on the map. That could be big.
2 dead hit for Shopify Rebellion. Formal in the death screen for Optic, but they do have the numbers advantage on the map. The oddball is down on the key door. Renegade gets taken down by LastShot, who somehow gets out of there as well.
Ooh, no, gets punished in the end. The repulse almost gets him out of dodge, but now they will begin holding again. 3 dead. Cykul's your only player alive, and we might see Optic now go back into the lead.
Optic will go into the lead. Cykul does get a kill as last player alive, though. Renegade will trade it out. Optic go into that lead. They need 20 points with the pressure and the nades starting to flow towards that ball carrier. Formal with the responsibility of playing bodyguard here.
Oh boy, Renegade with the flank as well. Renegade on the flank in jail. This is going to be huge. They should pick up these kills. That will be 2 dead. Now man advantage, Camo in 10.
Camo's coming up, Cykul's in position to try and at least contest it, but Cykul now is out of position. He's out of shields, but still alive in that rat tunnel. They know the push is coming here, Optic. They have the bodies here to deal with it, but can they get these kills?
They're going to drop and shoot. They're going to try to drop and shoot and get the advantage. I believe they've lost Camo. Here comes Camo. Last shot with the game in his hands. They have the man advantage once again.
And the big one with the 1 win. Top middle from Royal 2. It's Lqgend who's last alive. He's bottom middle, and it's going to be Shopify who break. They get the camo, and they might go into the lead here as well.
Unbelievable. This is high stakes, Halo. Here comes the push here from Bound on Big Door.
It's desperate. It's a desperate push here from Optic Gaming. They're too dead. The rotation away from those players is coming in from Shopify Rebellion, but Cykul's fallen. LastShot's got a job to do, but Lqgend with the beatdown, no trade. 3 dead for Shopify.
Something Lqgend is able to do in jail. It's a little bit of deja vu. You've seen him do it again. They're going to be holding again. Look at the clock.
Lqgend grabs that ball. They're going to play time here. They say to Shopify, come and get this oddball. You're going to have to go through these bandits. It's Renegade with 2. It's 4 dead for Shopify. And it's round 1 for Optic.
How about that for a first meeting of these two teams? You knew it was going to be a hot year, but that is unbelievable. Down to the wire. Optic Gaming closes out a win, and they avoid throwing a 60-point lead in that round. Shopify pushing them against the wall. But in the end, it's Optic. They take the round. They will lead 1-0.
If it wasn't enough to tell you that these two teams have split games on land straight down the middle, the first round of the first game we see at the first major, 1 second is what separates the two teams in that round number 1. Renegade with a snipe off the rip here for Optic.
Man, unbelievable start for these two. Jeez. Renegade still heating up. 21-12 in this game, by the way. Take a look at the scoreboard. Nobody is close to those numbers.
Camo up here. Look at this angle. From the heavens comes Renegade. Can't quite connect this time around. Cykul makes him pay for that one. Cykul comes in with 2. So Optic Gaming find themselves 3 dead. The camo will be picked up by Shopify Rebellion, who so brilliantly managed to get that camo in the final moments of that previous round, but it was Optic with such a good hold. The trade from Lqgend was everything.
Let's see if they can hold off this camo as well. They do. They shut down the camo and they get the first pick. And you gotta wonder, what do the Optic Gaming comms sound like, the momentum off of that first round? Let's get to a listening with Optic Gaming.
Yeah. I'm tower, guys. I'm tower. He was back in round 2. Back in round 2. We're 2 was back in. Yeah, I'm watching.
Bigger.
I'm looking top mid, watch out, Cykul.
Yeah, I'm looking. Right back.
Hey, A-put again, guys. A-put.
Here.
On him at 30. Watch out, tires.
Yeah, he went big, I think. Big.
Play yourself down.
Yeah, he's bigger right now. Bigger walking in. He's sitting bigger. Two guys. Two big. One ball. That's it.
Watch the Cykul. To there. Watch out to the left. Cover big again. Bigger shot mid.
Bottom and 5. On cam.
Guys. One can be right.
Tap in.
Spot green. Spot bottom.
All three.
Cables in 20 guys.
Spam behind them, guys. Audio bandage on behind him.
Yeah, I gotta be down. I think. Sprints, watch out.
Get ball down. Just spray with fumble. MC. They're gonna spam good. Could be bigger.
Camo in 10.
Could be bigger.
Camo's
bring him up.
Kids. Let me down. They're gonna play.
I can rebound.
Let me down. Watch out. Let me down.
Yeah, submit.
Play Keter.
Yeah, submit one shot.
Cuts. Going top mid. I can see on the camo guy. Stay alive. Camo guy is in cuts. Right now. Going top mid. All three dummies. Okay. Camo, Quantum, and ball. I'm gonna shoot the ball guy. Yeah, they do.
On top, guys. Ball left shot.
Take your time on this.
Ready.
Camo, cuts. Behind you, camo, guys.
Green mud and elbow.
Okay,
Pushing top mid. Pushing top goods. Be cuts on him.
Cuts now.
That's sweet.
Cuts again.
Cuts.
Top mid weak, trapping in the vent. Watch out, roll 2. Scamming. See me in the vent. Watch out. Come in.
Go on.
Nice, man. Ball game. What's running in?
Make sure we play for new here.
Look at top. Play weak. Frosty, half. Drop. Top mid, let's go behind me.
Top mid, watch out right here.
Dead. Spawning again. What's they pat? Do a pat.
They're staggered.
Watch a pistol.
Are you running?
Make sure pistol's there.
Nice bound.
I'm here, bound.
Watching my miss.
Nice bound.
Let's go roll two.
Zone of you and Charlie.
I already have green push up.
There's spawn camo.
Watch the play loader.
Probably top cuts. Could be tires.
Loader. Yo, Pillar, roll 2. Pillar, roll 2. One's gonna come big.
Let's cut right now.
He pipe on. LastShot hit him once.
Top mid. Big. Watch big. Watch top mid.
He has like a bullet or two long term.
Well, it's beautiful to watch the POV of Renegade there. The man was not missing. So many bullets got hit as Shopify find themselves 3 dead. But the round situation is heavily Optic Gaming. 75 points already on the board for them.
Yeah, Optic Gaming not letting Shopify back into this round at all, unlike the first round. It's just been constant control and easy to do when you got someone like Renegade hitting the shots like he was, both headshots and body shots. And just a dance between Cykul and Renegade. Cykul's gonna win it, probably traded out momentarily though. It should have been traded momentarily. Somehow Cykul lives and gets away with it.
And you can see why the other comparisons come in when you're watching the POV of Cykul. Somehow just stays alive a little bit longer than he should, gets away with not dying a few more times than he should across a game, and that all adds up. Now we're going to see Optic 3 dead for the first time, and it's a similar looking pattern to what we saw in round number 1. Optic with early dominance, a lot of it off the back of that sniper rifle pickup. This time it was Renegade, much like it was in that first round, but Shopify have broken. Shopify now have some control, and they had that op ball back to the tower.
Was a 2v2, 1v2 now. Bound trying to stay alive, and Royal 2 is going to do everything he can to try to get some help here. In the end, Bound wins the 1v2 for just a second, and he will now have spawners as well.
The score is getting ever so closer as the second tick past here. 50 points now on the board for Shopify Rebellion. 25 points the lead here for Optic as the rotate now comes in towards the back of green. I think they want to try and get a play ball here. Renegade picks up a double kill. Cykul's going to be sliding across his vision. But it's a camo and a 4 dead situation. Optic have forced a play ball. They've got the power-ups and they have the numbers on the map.
Yeah, that's an easy grab as well. First spawner was LastShot and staggered spawns thereafter. And now scoring at the 80-point mark, these could be your final 20 points of the game.
LastShot goes top middle. Renegade's going to cut him down. That camo, the difference maker in the 1v1. Bound with the ball in his hands is 10 points now for Optic, and Shopify Rebellion have to go. They have to push.
Here they come. Cykul's going to be your first pick. That means still 2 dead. They still should have the numbers and the position to close it out here.
LastShot's trying to fly top middle. He knows the time is not his friend. He gets one into trade, but Bound has that ball in his hand, and Optic have game 1 in their hands as well. They will be 1 up in the series as they take live fire on.
And what did we say? The Optic Gaming story changes completely from last night's drama into this morning's early morning drama, potentially to a very different storyline. They not only win game 1, they win it 2-0 with dominant finishes in each round, and Renegade goes 36-21, the only player to break 27 kills, let alone into the 30s.
When he had that power weapon in his hands, Renegade took over. And one question we were kind of discussing before, who's going to be the player who has to go God mode for a team to win this series? Because usually someone has to. Not a bad start from Renegade in game number 1.
You and I were talking about, will it be Formal? Will it be Frosty? And guess what? As you go down the names on the list, you think, actually, might be Renegade. Could be anyone. And I think Renegade is one that comes to mind right away. What a set of rounds from him, just racking up, as we said, not only body shot after body shot, but headshot after headshot, locking down every part of the map that he needed to, opening that round, as you saw on your screen, with a killing spree on the game as well. And even though we saw, of course, moments of greatness from Shopify, in the end, it was Optic Gaming who had their number. In their first meeting on land play of this game type, it will be Optic who takes it. Now, one thing we should mention as we look at some of these highlights is, by the way, a killing frenzy from Cykul. How about 2-0ing Shopify when Cykul is on a killing frenzy? Also not easy when he's hitting shots like that. One thing we should mention, if you caught the Optic podcast, and we know many of you in this room and watching at home certainly have been listening to and watching the Optic Halo podcast, they said the new game types are not our strongest and we have work to do on those. You might have noticed in the series layout, only game 5 is a new game type. So Optic Gaming proving that they might have the upper hand in a lot of the classic Halo Infinite game types. They certainly look like they did in game number 1.
Game number 2 is going to be Solitude Slayer, which is always an interesting one to see what pace the game starts at. Is it going to be a little bit of a standoffy, respect-filled game between the two, or is it going to be a case of a couple of kills and we go? We try and cycle those spawns. We want to go 10, 15 without response. The first few moments of this game could be very, very important, as were the last seconds of that first round, by the way. 1 second dividing the two teams. It's crazy to see as completely agree with what you're saying. Look at the game types we have in this series.
Yeah.
Only that game 5 is one of the new ones.
Yeah, and we should talk about Slayer Solitude as well. 50-37 was the final score when they played this at the Kason Showdown. It was Optic's Game 5 reverse sweep, a 13-kill win in Slayer Solitude. So Optic Gaming, so far with the LAN history between these two, has the upper hand in game number 2 as well.
So fascinating watching these teams throw down. It's just, you just don't know what twist is going to come next. I think it's been a rivalry that everybody has wanted to see for quite some time, and this season provides us with these new rivalries, these new teams who want to beat each other more than anything, who want to be champions. And I think for Shopify Rebellion, the start of the season has been great. The build-up to the season has been great, but now we're here. Now that everybody is no longer going in Shopify Rebellion, it's like, oh, this is Shopify Rebellion, this is the team we have to be. Has a little bit of a different feel about it. Only one game gone, of course. We've known that these two teams go back and forth in these crazy series as we take a look at some of the stats from two of the biggest slayers in the whole of the Halo Championship Series here in Arlington.
Separated by 1/100th of a point in KD. 1.43 versus 1.42. Remarkably close, and not surprising, as we said, given the margins of between these two teams. It feels like that has not only been a common preseason theme, it feels like all year long we might see these two teams go down to the last second time and time again. The question is, in Slayer Solitude, will we see Optic find success yet again? Have they done the work they needed to in Slayer? Or will Shopify be ready to tie this series 1-1? Remarkably close shades of green as well.
Yeah, they certainly are indeed. It's not easy for the graphics ops to get these ones right. But as we head into Slayer Solitude, another thing just to keep in the back of your mind that we were kind of talking about before everything got underway here in Arlington was Optic at the Invitational Kasan event just before this event got underway had this kind of bad habit of finding themselves down by 7, 8, 10 kills early on in games and having to scrape their way back. Now, they managed to
sometimes
do
win
that.
them. Yeah.
Sometimes they managed to make these comebacks, but you feel like against a team like Shopify Rebellion, those kind of margins cannot be allowed to happen. But being one up in the series, certainly going to just restore some confidence to Optic, who certainly would have had it knocked after what happened a little bit earlier today.
And one thing I'm so impressed by once again is Optic Gaming's patience. You heard in the listening as well, Lunchbox saying, let's take our time with this, let's slow down, we don't need to force this. And of course, on a game type like Slayer Solitude, that will apply as well. How will Shopify respond? They trail 1-0. We're underway in game number 2.
Let's see a little bit of bound. Man with the hood off today. It was hood up yesterday. But today, proudly displaying that Optic Gaming shirt, wants to really contribute to their success, not just in this series, but in this tournament, in front of their own crowd. Cykul killing Frenzy in the last game, but it was the Frenzy for the L. Looking at hunt down Lqgend, and it's going to be LastShot who gets the responsibility of that sniper rifle. And I've got to say, one thing that I noticed in the stats of the last game, LastShot very quiet.
Yeah, I would say quiet in our POVs as well. I think anyone watching that game was thinking, where was LastShot in that game? And we didn't get to see a lot of his POV, and obviously there's going to be even more that he wants to do damage-wise in this game. We'll see if he can do a great pre-nades from Bound on Cykul. That's not easy to pre-nade the pillar like that blindly against Camel. That's an important kill for LastShot as well. 9-6 now.
I thought that was Wooten for a second, the way that he spun around. That was ridiculous reaction time again from LastShot. And after, I would say, a carnage and chaos-filled start to this game, it's Shopify who on the respawn will have a 3-kill advantage. Renegade does get away with his shot, though.
Cykul trying to do a little bit of a slipping through the dip. Royal 2 was there on the U-turn to help out. He probably will be wiped out. Almost trades a second kill before doing so. So just like that, still a 2-kill lead, make it 3 for Shopify.
Frosty just threads the needle, though, cleans up that damage. And manages to stay alive momentarily. Finally, Renegade will hunt him down, chop him down. Slow start for Formal in this one. Yet to register his first kill, but we are still very, very early in this game.
Oh my, fantastic shot. Cykul forced to back down because Formal just absolutely sending damage across the map with the BR, and he's not done yet. We saw this from him yesterday as well. You think back to that forbidden CTF game. Just winning battles he had no business winning. Just like that, tied 12-12, all eyes top mid for the Camo Pop.
LastShot gets a pick, though, and that's big. With that camo coming up, it's going to be exchanged, though. As Renegade wins his individual, Frosty's going to take that challenge, slides down bottom. It was a beautiful grenade from Frosty. Lqgend picks up a kill, and it's just trade, but in different areas of the map at the moment, which means that lines of sight are going to be available for a lot of players still on that camo.
Is Lqgend the camo player? Let's see if he's able to grab. He was around it. Hasn't been able to do so just yet because they have eyes top mid. See exactly where that camo might have fallen. It goes to Formal. This is big. They're 2 dead. trailing by 2. This is a big moment in the game.
Yeah, Formal's got to show experience and a little bit of calmness in this situation. He's got information on where players are. Lqgend will find one onto LastShot. Lqgend still fighting, by the way. In and around the LR. Formal looking to be the person who just breaks in, gets some damage down, the players can play along, but in the meantime, Lqgend is just taking 1v1s and winning.
Really nicely done. Formal has not taken, by the way, any damage for this entire camo, and he has dealt quite a lot. In the end, he's finally taken down. However, in doing so, they tied the game right at 17, and still anyone's game here at the 20 kill mark.
Formal just played that one very slowly. I wonder if it was almost too carefully at certain points. There's an opportunity when damage was done where he could have been the one to make a play. But why make plays when Lqgend, the Frenchman, is winning fights like this? 7 and 5 for him. We have a tie game at 21.
A huge double kill to bring that game now tied up, as you say, instead of this game going all the way a different direction. Could easily be a 4-kill lead here for Shopify had things gone differently moments ago. Renegade trying to hit shots, giving LastShot every opportunity, but stays alive here in S1.
1 kill the difference. Sticky. Hold that, Royal 2. As now he looks for more. Formal will find his first kill of the game that gives Optic their first lead of the game.
Like we said, slow and patient. That's been the story for Optic Gaming so far in this series. They do it yet again. Now they lead by 1, despite trailing by 3 just a few kills ago.
Camo coming up in a few seconds as well. Renegade versus Frosty. Royal 2 with a beautiful bank nade to take him down. Bound now, looking for a little bit of a flanking angle here. Just the Cykul's there, but might just have had the timing here. Timing on that flank was just off, and it's allowed Royal 2 to get away. Frosty's going to find a kill, as is Cykul, so 2 dead here for Optic. And Shopify with control of the power-up.
This next camo, once again, a big opportunity. Will Shopify convert here? 27-26. 2 dead, though. Royal 2 needs to play this slow. Let's hear the listen-in.
Looking sight. Yo, man, I'm dead right now. High blue shock. Just try to show face from Matt for a second. Soda, 2 shot, guys. Going loop, 2 shot. Yep. Let's shoot, guys. Wrap. Take your time. Yo, man, I'm hotel right now. Outside, weak. Watch out blue, guys. Watch out blue. So watch out driveway. Okay, sign play. Yeah. Oh my god, toggle. Yo, and glass LR, yeah, they're dropping this. One LR and top gold. I'm waiting for a second. Wait, keep shooting. Keep shooting sight. I don't see him. We gotta put posters around. Yo, yard beer on you guys. Or on you guys. We got time on the awning. Be gonna go. We got SC right now. We should go. LR now. Go. Oh, I'm here. Okay, me dip behind us. Dip. Let's surround them. Push around. Try to get out dip, maybe? Yeah. Yo, try to take solo fights. We're relying on each other. We can hear them. Look at us, LR, watch out. Topside, one in. LR, one guy dip. One guy dip right now. Low window. LR and yard beer. Blue window. Still going blue window. They're raping Preston. Run. LR, one shot, guys. Yeah. Nice.
Well, Shopify fall behind here. It's a 5-kill advantage to Optic Gaming, and the fans here in Arlington, they know how close they are to maybe closing this out and going up 2 in the series.
Huge set of kills. A very interesting piece of communication coming in from Frosty. They're saying we're relying on each other too much. Take more 1v1s. Very rare piece of comms that you would hear. A lot of confidence in the team, but now they trail by 5.
12 kills to go here for Optic Gaming. It's going to be LastShot on the flank here, who takes down Bound. Formal looking to clean up some damage there on the stones, but Royal 2 flying across the map. He's taking some damage as well. Frosty's going to find one. Formal starting to look a little bit isolated here in blue. And if he stays alive, you know the spawns are going to be coming in next to him as well. Those squad spawns Bound. Speaking of the 1v1s, this could be a really big one. He's trying to create an angle of separation, but it's Frosty with a big kill. He brings it within 1 now.
Gets away with it as well. Eats that nade damage. It does not take him down, and now they've got 3 eyes on Pillar. It's a perfect collapse, and now only down by 1 kill. What a comeback here. Tied at 41 after trailing by 5.
Nothing to separate them. Flank coming in here from Cykul as well. He'll find one onto Bound. There's another player bottom middle. No ammo to play with here, which allows Formal to maybe get a kill he wouldn't have got before. But it's still a 1-kill difference between the 2 teams. Frosty desperate to stay alive.
Unbelievable how badly Shopify needs this game. We're tied at 43. So much riding here on the series.
Oh, the damage that Frosty takes. Lqgend gets a pick himself. Royal 2, again, exchanges, and by staying alive now, Frosty might be able to influence how this game ends. It's Lqgend trying to take him down. Lqgend being a nuisance. Royal 2 wants to extend it, get it, and he will. It's a 2-kill advantage now for Shopify, and Frosty will not die.
Amazing isolation there. The angles there. Only up by 1, but they eat 3 extra kills. 48-46 here.
This game just got extremely tense. Frosty, former teammate, Renegade in front of him. LastShot, no shields. Renegade with the kill. We have a tie game. 2 to go. Bound gets the 49. It's 49-all. 49-all. Next kill will win. Renegade takes damage. Renegade will fall. And Shopify Rebellion clutch up. It's 50-49 in our game number 2. How else would it end? How else would it end?
Unbelievable smiles on the face of Shopify, but narrowly. Absolute carnage at U-turn and truck in the end. Renegade's POV trying to find the kills at U-turn, trying to find them at truck. Battles between bottom mid as well as top dip. And in the end, the 50th kill registered by Shopify Rebellion after, let's not forget, trailing 41-36.
Wow. Wow, these two teams just leave it all out there. We've only got 2 games into the series. It's the first time we're going to see them. It's winners bracket round 1. 14-15 for Royal 2. Frosty, 13-11, but that survivability from Frosty in those final moments, I think, is the difference maker. Opportunities maybe for Optic to just chop him down when he was no shields 2-3 times in a row. But he stays alive, and his teammates work around him, and it's LastShot. 12-11 for him with a good comeback after a disappointing game number 1. But a 50-point. I mean, what else do you say? What can you say?
Not wait to see highlights from this game. I mean, look at the scoreboard throughout the entire game. Tied at 14. Tied around the 30 kill mark. It continues neck and neck, like you said, that you cannot separate these two. And that game 2 was yet another indicator of what we're working with here this season between these two, this heated rivalry. Before you even get into the bad blood between the two, they are simply that close, neck and neck, as your number 1 and 2 favorites for the year, and it is showing in every single game and every single scoreboard.
This game, just before this from Frosty, he gets up to the top of the snipe tower, gets to S3, gets more damage down, doesn't fall. Influences 2 more kills, stays alive, gets more damage down. Those kind of moments at the moments that maybe don't show up in just kills from Frosty's POV, but damage output influencing how that game ends is why you keep your eyes on him and always will keep your eyes on him as an X-Factor player for Shopify Rebellion. Tied up a 1-1 then, after that's done. CTF Aquarius, that is a game type I like to see as a game 3 swing game.
Man, and how different this series could look if one thing went differently throughout that entire game. I think the big focus there is Shopify trailing by 5 late in the game, the ability to bring that game back. You even heard from Frosty saying, really, that is a late game call, right? Let's stop focusing on the team fights. Let's not focus on team shooting. And I tell you what, in 20 years of professional Halo, I've never heard a pro player go, hey, just win your ones. Let's stop shooting together. That's crazy. And what a tactical call from Frosty saying, let's be confident. And also the confidence that he showed in his teammates, saying, hey, take your 1v1s. Let's go separately. Let's win these battles. And even though they were trailing by that margin that late in the game, they put the pieces together. They keep Frosty alive at truck. He weaves and bobs and dips and dives around it, giving them 3 extra kills as he stayed alive. And man, oh man, we'll take a look at these last few moments. Big thank you to the team in the back for bringing up this replay here. We want to see exactly how this went down. 3 were dead for Shopify. Take a look. Renegade pushes in bottom middle, gets pre-nated.
Cykul survivability again. He knows if he gets pushed from U-turn, that the only way he survives for an extra second, half a second, whatever it is, by jumping on the stones, jumping up to deny the angle that someone would come through U-turn from.
You got to think if he's hiding in that corner and not shooting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the difference maker. Sometimes it's not about who gets the kill, it's who stays alive in those situations. An Optic 1 bullet away from being 2 up in the series, but instead, we're at 1-1. Let's just take a second here. Game number 1, first round, 1 second. Man. 1 second divides the 2 teams. Round number 2, Optic, more convincing.
Yeah.
Game number 3, that's game number 2, excuse me. 1 kill, 1 bullet, you could argue, separates the 2 teams. How'd you feel about an overtime CTF Aquarius?
Give it to me. It feels like these two are going to be going the distance all year long. We should mention on CTF Aquarius, these two have not played this game type even in preseason on LAN. In the case on Showdown, we did not see them go up against one another. So it will be the first debut on LAN between the two. And how fitting. The 2 teams could not be closer. in that Game 2 Slayer, which tees us up perfectly for CTF Aquarius to be your swing game in this series. Let's get underway.
One of the Halo Infinite classics. We find ourselves here on Aquarius. Capture those flags to win this game. First to 5. Whoever's leading at the end of time. We've got 2-1 in this series. The trade's not surprisingly going down at the bottom of the pink tower. Everybody just flying at each other. Desperate that there's no numerical advantage to be found.
And what does that Game 2 do for Shopify Rebellion momentum-wise? You saw the intensity on LastShot's face after the series, ended. Is it what they needed in terms of a boost, both energy and morale, to start to pull away in this series?
Frosty with the first camo here for Shopify Rebellion, but wasn't too much of an influence. Optic will clean out most of their base here. Or should I say, excuse me, will be cleaned out in the back of their base. Bound and Lqgend both fell one after the other. Lqgend back on the rooftop now. He gets a couple of good kills in the back of his base. It'll be Frosty who's just moving through though, looking for spawners at the moment and trying to find Lqgend again. Shopify with good map presence here, but just not able to really get the numbers consecutively to get that flag moving.
Oh. Nice little 2v1 there.
Flag on for Renegade.
Yeah, flag has made it far. Roll 2 last player alive.
Renegade got behind enemy lines there, got into the base and was like, all the fights happen in pink, I'm running this one car. Lqgend finds a kill. Bound finds a little bit of space, and Formal finds himself putting Optic one up. It's Renegade, who was forgotten about, who gets behind enemy lines, who starts all of that.
Beautifully done. Renegade not yet on the board in the kills category, but how big is that play? That's massive to get a pull like that. And guess what? When you're at this level, at this speed of gameplay, there are scenarios where if you're in the right place and ready to pull, here he is again, by the way, once you're behind enemy lines, you can make things happen. All of a sudden, you get a little bit of extra damage somewhere else on the map, and what became a little bit of a prayer becomes a serious flag run. Optic Gaming, they lead 1-0.
3 dead though for Optic Gaming here. Shopify Rebellion will send that one back home, and we'll be able to progress at least up the map to the midpoint to try and trap Optic in the back of their base. Camo coming up as well. Frosty and Lqgend pick up kills for their respective teams. And even though there was a bit of a shaky fight on both sides, there is Cykul who wins it and will find himself rewarded with a killing spree.
Killing spree and leads the game in kills. Looking to pop off and show up in an even bigger way. He will not get the camel burn, so it will still be down top middle, 2 dead each side.
2 dead each side. Frosty in a position to jump up to contest it top middle. But he's should be close enough to actually grab this one. Should be able to grab it and just run back. That's a Cykul through the inventory. Through the backpack, and that's going to cost him. Lqgend cuts him down.
Unfortunate, did not want to grab that plasma pistol first, and even though that camo probably has pick up priority, 3 are dead here for Shopify. Cykul last player alive. Lqgend no damage yet. He's already at car 1.
Not many better players in the world at recognizing objective situations, timing. To get objectives moving and get time on the board. It's going to be 3 dead though for Optic Gaming, and LastShot is going to fly in here, look for this return. Last player alive is in front of him. Formal taken down, and Cykul is already inside of the base here. There's a counter cap opportunity here for Shopify, and they're not looking to make any mistakes.
A lot of things done correctly there on that run. We'll talk about it in just a second. We'll focus on the flag that is moving here. Momentary 3v3. Now 3 dead right away off the response. Cykul trying to be the last player alive. Can he get the cap?
He's going to be trying to run this one. He's in a race. But it looks like the call out is that the pressure is going to be coming. He wants to put damage down. He wants to force Optic away while the rest of Shopify will spawn in. Damage onto 1, gets cleaned up. Renegade now trying to fly in to look for this return. But here comes Shopify. They fly through, but Renegade and Optic with perfect grenades might be able to get this return.
Wow, they might even double jump this. Here's the pressure on Stroomset. World 2 gets the touch. Does not get the touch, flies in. No touch. It will be returned. Optic Gaming has to work very hard, but they get the flag back.
I thought for a second Royal 2 got that touch, and that made things very interesting. But it's Optic who stop the counter cap and will keep themselves up by 1 here. As Cykul wins that fight inside of his base. 2 dead here for Optic.
Man. Gas pedal is down on both sides of the stage, without a doubt. This is very fast-paced Aqua flag, and you're seeing it yet again. Still just 1 flag on the board. It's a huge stop coming in from Optic. Cykul trying to hold off the opponent as long as he could in the end. The Optic pressure was too strong. Nice job on the screens from Frosty.
Almost last alive in the back of the base, and I think Renegade actually spawned right alongside him, which is one of those things where if you're Shopify, it's like, how do we overextend it on both sides here? Do we want to spawn them in the fridge first, or were they just looking to spawn them in the back of the base and force that one through the front? Either way, the pieces didn't really line up for them. But Frosty with this camo has managed to put Optic 3 dead once again.
Love that from Frosty. He's not afraid to take those engagements, even though, of course, he's exposing himself. He gets the damage that he needed and then gets the kill on Formal that he needed as well.
Royal 2's running this one as well. They want a few more kills by the looks of things. Don't feel comfortable about the route home for this flag. Frosty, smartly, taking an angle behind Optic Gaming. Renegade spots him out, so they'll know where he is. But where's that flag going here? They get 2 dead. And now you're going to see the touch come in. They have information that Formal is on P1. Lqgend trying to overextend as well, and the shots from Lqgend might have just kept Optic with a chance of getting this flag back home. This is a really staggered run from Shopify.
Really staggered, really unorthodox in terms of the way they're trying to move this across. And to be honest, they're even their setup. Frosty staying alive in the Utah on the other side. Great shots. 2v2 here. Flag's still out, about to return.
What if this is too staggered from Shopify? I feel like there was windows of opportunity for them to really force that flag, at least get it back into their base, but instead,
they get a touch.
Here comes the touch, and what do I know? Frosty's running this one in. Optic only have 2 alive, and no one is there to stop it. It is the slowest, most considerate piece-by-piece flag cap you will see. But it's effective for Shopify. They tie it up a 1-1.
Considerate is a great word for it. So patient, unbelievably well-paced. Frosty actually staying in his opponent's util throughout almost the entirety of that. Finally, he comes back to help out, but they knew the angles, they knew the timing, and in the end, they tied the game. Most importantly, we're tied up 1-1.
3 dead hit for Shopify. As Renegade flies up mid-map, going to find himself a threat seeker. And that camo is available for both teams as well, but look at the control of the map that Optic have. They try and zone in on him.
Whoa.
And LastShot was waiting for him.
Big kill there from LastShot to stop down that camo. You feel like if Optic already had a man advantage and were about to push with a Renegade camo, that could have been huge, but Bound caught off guard. It's an important kill on the feet as well.
Teamwork starting to roll here a little bit for Shopify Rebellion. You can see them running shoulder to shoulder. Royal 2 and Cykul working so well together. LastShot's going to fly past him as well. And now Royal 2 in the position that you don't want him to be if you're an Optic gaming fan. Set up on height with eyes and reticle trained on those respawners. He's one of the best to ever do it when he's in these positions, but it's a great job from Optic to make sure he doesn't do too much damage.
3 dead. Cykul, last player alive yet again. Currently leads the game in kills, but finally will be taken down. That is a staggered 4 dead. LastShot's the first spawner. Let's see if they can hold here.
Spawn in the back of the base as well. Couple of well-placed grenades here from Optic, may give them an opening to run that flag through the window, but instead, Shopify once again doing a good job to hold. Even though damage has been done, the numbers now wrap back from the fridge spawns, and they take control of their flag.
I think one important thing to highlight here is Bound is 10-17 in this game, and I don't think that's a negative per se against the play that he's made. I think it's play style that is causing him to go 10-17. The team is, of course, they're looking good. They're tied 1-1 here. Bound is trying to make things happen. He's trying to get into his opponent's util, and you could maybe say he's forcing things maybe a bit too fast. We'll have to see how the rest of this game plays, but still uncharacteristic numbers from Bound being -7 at this stage.
3 dead hit for Shopify. It's Optic who are winning these fights on their side of the map, but there's an overextension now actually coming in. And Renegade will get that flag moving. However, it's Frosty who cuts him down. That flag won't get too far. Now, will they be able to take a page out of the Shopify playbook here? Look for these kills, piece it together, and if they can, then maybe there's a chance to get a touch on this flag.
Oh, big kill.
2 with that grenade
Big
just
kill.
shuts things down. But Lqgend, from nowhere, top card drops down and gets this touch.
And Formal's there as well. He should be able to get the shroom stairs very easily. 3 dead. Cykul was your last player alive. Frosty's a spawner. This flag will go. And with under 4 minutes left, Optic Gaming will punch home their second flag.
Where did Lqgend come from? He just fell from top car after being a few seconds ago on the flag bridge. Wraps back round, drops down, gets that touch off the back of some damage. And some kills for Optic, and now Lqgend, having contributed to the success of that flag cap, controls the top of the pink tower and at 14 and 12 and most assists on his team. He's looking to push in for another flag that will give Optic just a bit of a cushion in this aqua flag.
Yeah, starting to heat up quite a bit. You see it now taking more engagements and not really taking any damage in the last 45 seconds, which is remarkable on a game type like this and an opponent like this.
Doesn't get the trade in that situation. It's going to be 2 dead on either side. Bound wrapping back to the pink tower to try and find the elusive player who was the one to take him down.
Oy.
Frosty takes some good damage. It's going to be an easy clean up here for Bound as he reads Frosty's route back to where he wanted to be. That flag, by the way, it's back towards the Optic Gaming base. It's almost on the shroom stair, so keep your eyes on the feed. If Optic can get some kills here, then this could be that cushion we're talking about. It's Royal 2 taken down, and yes indeed, with 3 dead, Bound, who has just cycled the entirety of the map, comes back, gets both hands on that flag, and puts Optic up 3-1.
How about it timing-wise? It's essentially a back-to-back cap. Yeah, it took a little bit of time and a little bit of slays in between, but really, if you look at that on paper, that's a back-to-back cap, and they are showing no signs of slowing. Now leading by 2 with 2:25 left in the game.
There's a hat for Frosty in the style of a blue plasma grenade. It's going to be 2 dead for the side of Shopify again. Optic really just trying to pick up the the slaying game a little bit in this last 2 or 3 minutes that we've seen from their POV. Winning those individuals, making sure the damage gets converted into kills. As their camo comes up once more top middle. If Shopify want to way back into this, you get the feeling with just 2 minutes left on the clock here, Andy, they have to get this camo.
Absolutely do, and then they need to make things happen very quickly. To be honest, the second flag cushion, as it does, is going to allow Optic to play this very differently. They do not need to be desperate at all. Just make sure they maintain control, and this camo will be a big piece of that. Here's Formal.
Interesting decisions to be made here. Both flags are away. Frosty
What the eagle
out. I'm having to wear glasses to see a 45-inch monitor of a... Frosty can see camo on a much smaller one. Frosty now trying to help his team. 3 players from Optic flying through. Legend's trying to cut down that flag. But by doing so, gets cut down by Frosty. It's 2 dead for Optic. Royal 2 runs this one in. It's 1 flag between the 2 teams with just over a minute to go, and Formal is last alive inside his base.
Enormous kill from Formal. LastShot was trying to pressure while there was 3 dead. There would have been forced split spawns, probably util and probably fridge splits that would have came in if Formal did not get that kill, and LastShot might be running the flag right now. So instead, we have another round of slays coming in. 60 seconds left.
It's a really brave play actually happening from an Optic Gaming member. I'm not sure who it is, but they push all the way across. It's Legend again, who's got out of spawn, who's now wrapping. You can see the Shopify go, he's there somewhere, and the damage that comes in from Legend turns into 2 kills. Legend's still alive, by the way. This is a huge IQ play from Legend in a high-pressure situation to recognize my job is to get us out of spawn, and by doing so, has helped Optic back on the map. 35 seconds left for Shopify to make a play on that flag.
This is not only a 2 dead, it's a very staggered 4 dead. LastShot still has not respawned, which only leaves now with the respawn 26 seconds for 1 final push.
Optic playing at defense. Renegade with a big kill, but it's traded out. Bound with another. Shopify Rebellion find themselves 2 dead. Numbers stacked up defensively here for Optic Gaming. 10 seconds left. Formal finds one inside of the base. I don't think there's a chance. Frosty gets a touch, but no one else is going to be there. Formal jumps on the re. Legend makes sure he goes home, and it will be Optic Gaming who will go up 2-1 in the series with a hard-fought win here on Aquarius flag.
And it's Formal showing up in a big way. 23 kills on the board, leads the team, and ensures that they take home game number 3, the go-ahead game. Taking a 2-1 series lead. Once again, I mean, I feel like you're going to hear a lot of this year, and I think everyone's going to welcome it. Another one down to the wire. It's only 1 flag separating the 2, and now 1 game separating the 2. Optic Gaming will be 1 game away from closing out the series.
I really want to talk about those final moments of that game and the play that I was trying to highlight that Legend made. Legend spawns Fridge, immediately gets out to P1, and I think it was Frosty who was top pink, if I'm not mistaken. Starts taking the battle with Bound, who spawns behind him, but I think he thought Bound's first spawner. Takes that fight, wins that fight, moves forward, but Legend in that meantime had overextended all the way through the pink side, all the way into the Shopify base, then to top car, and was able to backstab, essentially, the push that was coming in and had to be made by Shopify Rebellion. That window of timing that he got to get out and get behind Shopify is the reason that final push got shut down. If he doesn't get out there, he gets trapped in the Fridge, it might be a very different looking push that comes in from Shopify.
And you see just how big it is for Optic Gaming as a key to success to get those extra flag cushions, right? Because we've talked about it across many game types. For Optic Gaming, they play fantastic when they have a lead, right? When they find themselves trailing by quite a bit, it's such a long and a difficult road back into the lead in these games. So you see just how important it is to play the early game strong. And once again, this was back and forth. We saw a big return coming in here from LastShot and Shopify to ensure they didn't go down 2-0, but amazing stuff from Renegade all game long as well. This one came down to the wire, but it really was that back-to-back cap from Optic that sealed it.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 caps, the last 2 caps of the game, are actually really interesting to talk about and watch as well, because think about how long it took for Shopify. They staggered that flag run. There was a few times I was like, someone gonna run this. It felt like they were getting the kills and no one was in position to run it, but it all worked out in the end. And then the second, like you say, of the consecutive caps for Optic is, it felt very similar, where Legend was that player who finally got that touch after they got some kills on car 1 and started to run that one. It's really interesting to watch the style of which those flags were capped. It was never clean, but it was good enough.
I also want to highlight once again, see Formal popping off with a little bit of an LFG after that one. Feeling good here, Optic Gaming leading 2-1, and you can just take a look at the score lines of how close this one has been. Really, this scoreboard doesn't do justice to just how close that first round of ball was.
1 second.
But I think one important thing to mention is Formal winning the 1v1. If you saw it, we were watching it from Shopify's util. LastShot was pushing in Shroom Stairs and high util bridge in a 1v1 with Formal. If he gets that kill, not only does he get the pull, he forces split spawns. That flag is running. And we don't get to see that on the stats. We don't get to see that on the screen. But it is players like Formal who win those battles in the back of the base that completely sways how the rest of that game goes. And it's going to be a huge factor for them all event long. When we see how tight the margins are between these twos, it will really come down very often, as you can already tell, down to single 1v1s that will sway where these series go between these two rivals.
One battle influences the next minute and a half, it feels like sometimes, of which way the game is going to swing, who's going to have the advantage, and I think it's a really good example to highlight that Formal play in the back of the base. He dies, flag's running, there's spawn in fridge, everyone's chilling.
Yep.
That doesn't happen. Optic Gaming close out map number 3 and find themselves now 1 game away. It's crazy to say, from sending Shopify Rebellion down to the elimination bracket, when all of the talk was about what's happening to Optic a couple of hours ago. King of the Hill Recharge are game number 4. Will this be Optic closing it out, or will we once again go the distance between these two and see a game 5?
And we should mention, this is a rematch from the Kason Showdown. Optic has already taken down Shopify 2-0 in King of the Hill Recharge, so a slow game, but a convincing one in the end. King of the Hills per minute right now. Royal 2, by the way, is at 2.45. That is disgusting.
Kills per minute in King of the Hill is insane.
Unbelievable.
The man knows where to put his reticle, and usually, if it's on you, you're going to find yourself in the death screen for a few seconds, but what a chance, what an opportunity this is for Optic Gaming to send Shopify Rebellion down to the elimination bracket. Shopify on the back foot. You would not have been saying that a couple of hours ago.
Absolutely not, and what past 18 hours of competitive Halo. All the drama you could ask for Optic Gaming. 3 will fall.
Enemy team took the hill.
His Bound still alive here in control, but it will mean Hill and Camo Control coming in from Shopify. They know they need to win this game. They need to send it to a game number 5. Otherwise, their tournament bracket will be a very different one indeed.
Royal 2's just hunting at the moment. He knows he can't fire onto Formal because there's going to be more than one player trying to trace onto him. Royal 2 doesn't know where to look at the moment and ends up looking nowhere because Optic spots him out and make sure that that camo does not influence this next round of their push. Optic Gaming will be able to get some map control here.
Unbelievable comms and Eagle Eye. The timing there is such that not only do they Eagle Eye the camo, but in making sure that they got the damage bottom control, other teammates can also spot them. And that's a really great neutralization of the camo. However, Shopify still leading 50% progress on your first hill.
And Frosty is picking up kills as well. Frosty has that shock rifle. And Renegade, luckily, as he was taken down, managed to get the stick, which means that Frosty will have to wait a few more seconds. Formal flies in, trade, and again, it's the gold side of the map at the moment, the pipe side of the map that's still controlled by Shopify, and that's what you need to hold if you want to win this hill.
LastShot knows that there's probably an elevator spawner there. You can't just poke out pipes. Wisely retreats and still able to hold down. Look at the progress here. Only about 10% to go for Shopify.
Yeah, I mean, Optic need to go if they want to break out, or are they going to give this one up? Last shot with the perfect shots. Renegade challenges, still takes 3. He's going to be traded out as well. It's 2 dead on either side. As Royal 2 will fly through. Cykul still at the top of gold as well. He's actually going to jump into the hill. I like this play from Royal 2. Here's the call out of damage on bottom tower and probably recognizes if he can finish that kill, that's the LOS dealt with, and now he can convert this into a point. Shopify Rebellion go up 1-0. There is life in this series yet.
An enormous play from LastShot. You can tell how important it was that he stayed pipes. He did not fly into Whirlpool. He did not get greedy for that kill. And look at the domino effect of doing so. They get so much more time. Then he wins a 1v1 in pipes. Then he also gets damage bat ledge, which is traded out by Royal 2. Finally, Optic Gaming now getting a little bit back in control. They get 3 dead. They get the next camo. Let's see what Formal can do.
Well, Formal spotted out the first camo, and now he's probably thinking, let me show you what I can do with this power-up. They're trying to bait them in a little bit here. And I like this because Lqgend, he's the bait. And Formal, well, he's hungry for kills. Bound will be there in time to clean up that damage, and it's a really good tower hold here. And now Formal still with a little bit of camo to work with. Will contribute to 2 more. This is 4 kills that Formal has contributed to every single one. Damage on everyone, almost takes down Royal 2 as well.
You get the feeling if he didn't bonk his head on this little ceiling there, might have even gotten another one. Amazing, as you say, amount of damage coming in from him. And guess what? Take a look at the progress on the hill from Optic Gaming after all of that from Formal. And You called it, Mark. Formal showing what he can do with the camo. It was patient once again. It was very selective. Amazing trigger and angle discipline coming in from Formal. They're only 10% away from closing out hill number 2.
It's going to be a perfect hill if they can do so as well, but a couple of kills start to go against them somewhat. And it's Shopify Rebellion who, for the first time on this underpass hill, will dip their toes inside of it. Legend and Royal 2. Royal 2 looked like he was not interested in anything else but a trade.
He was coming, yeah. That was almost Ryan Noob-esque. Nightmares of Halo Reach, Ryan Noob flying at you. Nice bit of work from Frosty there. Those kills will be traded 3v3 on the map. Renegade trying to win a battle here. Gets taken down bottom in the hill. So let's take a look at numbers here. 3 dead.
It's a big 1v1 because that was the last player on this side of the map for Shopify Rebellion, and Optic Gaming will step in and convert that point. Formal winning the 1v1 versus Cykul means that they are tied up now.
You do get the feeling that was a must-win hill. Let's not forget the last time these two teams played this game, it was only a 2-0 finish, which shows you just how even and Slay-based the last outing was. And instead of going down 2-0, they answer back convincingly, tied 1-1.
So it's one camo aside, and the next one will be burnt. So no camo to play with, and Optic Gaming find themselves 3 dead. And Cykul will be chopped down as he tries to escape and Scarborough away, but it's Formal now on the camo jump. He's trying to break through this setup. Royal 2 taken down, another player in the whirlpool trying to be a nuisance. 2v2 right now as Optic, kind of a mini break here, but it's LastShot. He's trying to hold these spawns in the elevator. Trying to keep Optic out of that hill, and he's done a great job in doing so.
LastShot did so well there. That's an easy battle to get lost in when you're on half wall. You can really get kind of mixed up with Whirlpool and even long haul angles. Instead, he goes pizza, hits the slide back, as you say, gets the kill, and then stays in elevator and holds this part of the map down, and they get 3 dead off of the back of it.
They got info on where Bound is as well. You can see the LastShot turns his reticle to where Bound is. Frosty's going to try and chase him down. It's the best situation here for Bound is a trade, but he's not even going to get that. Frosty cleans him out, and Optic, with Bound still on the death screen, is spawning a long way away from this hill.
Only a little bit to go here. Now, Formal last player alive. That's going to be 4 dead here. They will get this finish, and we'll see if they delay here at all. If they want to have a little bit of better positioning, no, they waste no time. They grab it right away, and they're already set up for the next hill at sea.
I wanted to highlight that because Cykul, I love what he did. He aggressively pushed his tower on that last Optic push. He gets a double kill. Not sure how it happened, but it happened. Then wraps all the way through. They get those last seconds, but Cykul breaking open tower, and Frosty moving towards top glass, forces spawns away. Everyone leaves where that hill was from Shopify Rebellion, and they make that perfect rotate. It's the next thought process. What do we do next? And it's just executed perfectly by Shopify.
Momentary 3v3 on the map just now. Frosty already 14-8 in this game, and now with 2-1 lead. Let's see how they handle this C plat hill. There's 2 dead, 2v2 on the map. Let's get to a listen-in with Shopify Rebellion.
No, we got batteries right now. Long a week, I hit him 3 times.
It might drop on camo.
So long.
Just camo stack.
NC play.
Kill Baylor, kill. What's that? Xbox, which stack?
Batteries on me weak. Batteries weak. Wrapping Chevron, okay? Batteries have 1 guy's big door. Yo, 1 guy stacks now, 1 guy bottom here. Bottom here now, bottom here! No. It's all you.
Yo, two C plat, 1 BR.
Legend's a little weak. Yo, hill weak in 2 cases. CQ, watch out. One shot trip tech. Yo, in red. 1 shot gold door going mangler. 1 shot gold door going mangler. 1 shot sees up. Eddie, jump over. 1 BR. Oh, grab it. Yeah. Good trade. 2 and hill, last two in hill. Lock all. Spawn back solo. Yo, can you... Still seeing that nobody's out red. When nobody's out red, he grab the red.
I'm watching red.
No. It's John. I'm in front.
See plat weak. Watch out, hill, guys.
Then probably sinking.
Yeah, glass, no, John's long.
2 in hill weak. Glass 20, dead. Nice, in hill weak.
2 BR, guys, 2 BR weak. 2 have, last 2 BR. Back on the BR stairs. Back on the BR stairs.
Can you guys help me?
Still on the stairs.
Remember.
On the stairs. Still on the stairs.
Yo, watch out.
Drive, pressing.
And then spawner C.
Take time here, take time.
Yo, I can flank. And hill back. Solid. Yo, Matt, I spawn out. Yo, Golder, 1 shot dead. Nice. Yo, and long, and flank. Turn right, 1 shot. Turn right, 1 shot, going pipe door. Bound. And then one's all long.
Press, you see me?
Matt, you should hit that. Yo, hit
Better,
1 minute left of the game clock here. It's still 2-1 to Shopify Rebellion. And now, how do you play this? How do you think about playing this with a lead? Are you going to look to convert this hill to make it your game? Or are you going to try and stop Optic from getting anywhere near it? It's 3 dead for Optic. Legend the last hope.
Legend last player alive. I think even orange door or so. They're going to have gold spawner as well. going to play time here, of course. 42 seconds left.
Enemy team took the hill.
Optic are forced to step in that hill. Lqgend will be taken down.
Oh,
There's a double
no.
for Frosty. Bound. You're going to challenge. But you are going to be put down. It's a triple kill from Frosty that felt like a dagger in this game for Optic.
Also now blocking back Hydro, knew exactly where he needed to block. 27 seconds left for the final Optic Gaming push. Otherwise, we're going to a game number 5.
20 seconds left. Optic trying to force this hill, but Royal 2 picks up the first kill. LastShot's there to clean up things in and around that hill. That objective belongs to Shopify Rebellion. They are playing bodyguards. 15 seconds left, but you're right.
Narrowly.
Optic only need to put their foot in it once.
They almost snuck in just now. 9 seconds left here. They have to go right now. No one looks in position.
Renegade.
Renegade might go.
Renegade might go.
He might go.
Frosty's had to drop.
No.
Cykul gets the kill though.
Lqgend.
in there. Lqgend's in there. There's no way that
No,
Lqgend.
just not.
He doesn't. He doesn't. It's okay. Everybody calm down for just a second. Shopify hold on. Oh, they're gonna kill me, these two teams.
Everyone, we got to strap in for a year of this. And man, am I ever here for it. I don't know if my heart is. My cardiologist. I don't have one of those, but if I did,
but I might have one by the end of the series.
We need one. If you have any cardiologist recommendations, I think the entirety of the Halo community would be appreciative. Man, oh man.
Okay, 2-1, Rebellion. They win the game, which, surprise, surprise, means we're going to a game 5 here. Goodness.
Cykul goes 18 and
What
10.
are we watching, dude? Like,
We are watching an unbelievable level of competitive Halo in a bonus year that no one was ready for. 18 and 10 from Cykul in the end. 19 and 12 from Frosty. All players on 5k damage, by the way, on Rebellion. No players on Optic on 5k damage, and that tells the story of the game. It's a 2-1 King of the Hill recharge win once again, a low-scoring one due to, I mean, just the map control prioritization there, and my God, was that ever down to the wire. You had to be sure that Lqgend was gonna get those ticks as they send the final 2 on a control Hydro C-plat flank, and somehow they don't get the very last millisecond tick. I don't know if I've ever seen it that close on progress in a down-to-the-wire scenario like that. And of course, we are going to a game number 5, and these two teams have history on Slayer Origin.
yeah, I was going to say, I think those final moments, you made a great call, because I don't think we really give a team a chance in that situation. Having not watched these two teams play so much so far, right? Every game is so close, you were like, wait a minute, there's actually like a mathematical possibility this can happen if they get across the map. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. And then it almost does happen. So great shout from you in those final moments. But yeah, now Slayer Origin. I mean, statistically, these two did play at the K-Sound Invitational, and Shopify won it 50-44.
Yep.
However, in this tournament, Shopify played C9, they lost it.
Exactly. So when you think you have the story figured out, as we take a look, here's the final moments, by the way. 40 seconds left. Of course, Shopify at this stage just playing time. Huge, enormous triple kill. And a blocking this one. Here's Renegade flying in. Renegade dies right away. Take a look at this.
I'm getting close to the
Lqgend
pixels.
jumps in, and somehow in that last...
my God.
We're talking frames. Frames away. Not seconds, not milliseconds, but frames away. Unbelievable. Just could not believe it. As you can tell by the reaction on our faces. You're probably talking, you know, this game is spitting out a whole lot of frames per second, so I won't say it in terms of 240 hertz terms, but you are looking at just milliseconds, not seconds away from Lqgend closing out that hill and sending this series potentially a very, very different direction. As you said, Shopify taking down, by the way, this is a rematch, Game 7 at the K-Sound Showdown. Shopify wins the tournament on this exact game type, 50-44. However, not only did Shopify lose to C9, they lost to C9 50-40, and I got to talk to Frosty and LastShot after that match back at the hotel. I asked them to walk me through it, and specifically they said they really prioritized certain places on the map, certain angles, and we even heard Sensor say it on C9, do not let Frosty go off with the snipe. And I was talking to Shopify about C9 playing quite squirrely. They were playing angles where they would fly two players out rocket elbow, get a quick kill, and then run back in the base. And now with everything riding on this, let's not forget all of the drama in the offseason, all of the drama of the K-Sound Showdown and the format discussions bring us now to a winner's quarterfinal early matchup between these two, and Game 5 to decide who stays alive in the winner's bracket.
And who will fall down to the elimination bracket as well? Origin is where we find ourselves. The first time we see one of the new maps in this series, and it's gonna be the one to decide who wins the game 5 and stays alive in the winner's bracket here in Arlington. This series never disappoints, and Frosty is going old school by sliding in for that sniper rifle.
Oh,
My
you
God,
got
he just does it again!
It's a change-up. LastShot grabbing snipe yesterday for them on this map. Frosty's up to his usual tricks, and somehow the man runs different mathematics on this map. His geometry is on point, and of course, as he does, opens up with an absolute banger. 4-2, Shopify lead.
Absolutely, it's illegal what he does with this weapon sometimes on this map. However, law enforcement has arrived as Renegade with the rockets has made this much closer. Goodbye, Renegade.
If I can't have it, you can't either. Burns a lot of extra ammo there, calming exactly where the sniper is, and of course that there's only one shot left in the weapon. Unfortunately, it didn't make it all the way down the line to Cykul. He's taken down, and just like that, Optic Gaming takes an early lead here.
This is the level we're playing at, ladies and gents. Wherever you're sat watching this series, this is the level to expect. Ridiculous shot after ridiculous shot, but it's the teamwork of Optic Gaming that's starting to show in the opening moments of this game. 10-6, they have a 4-kill advantage, and that is a full team wipe.
Bound getting nerdy here with the extra ledge. Up at Catwalk will make sure he does not take any grenade damage from the ensuing grenades at the BR. They need to slow things down just a bit as they have lost a man. Still up by 3, however. Here comes the Shopify push.
Scary moments. Jump scare as 2 players from Shopify Rebellion just appear on his screen. As now it's just 1 kill.
Man, 4 dead.
Royal 2. Just how many 1v1s over the years? Those big ones. He just wins them.
How about that? A 4-kill lead for Optic, and they have top cat control. Shopify breaks perfectly and flawlessly. And just like that, now they're up by 2, 13-11. What a response from Shopify after trailing 10-6.
I mean, the seesaw continues to tip one way and then the other. It's counterpunch and counterpunch from these two teams. On the Optic side, Renegade 7-4 to start this. Formal yet to register his first kill of this game. And on the other side, no surprise, Mr. Frosty, the Oracle here on Origin, 6-3 to start this game.
What a swing from Shopify, and moments ago you would have bet that Optic Gaming was poised and likely to go on an absolute tear, leading by 4 at one point. And now it's an 8-kill game. Shopify starting to run away with it.
These are the moments we were worried about with Optic in Slayer, saying you can't let these runs happen. You can't let 6 or 7 kills start to stack up, because then you give yourself so much to do, such a deep hole to dig out of. But they've proven they can dig out of those holes. They've proven that they can make it happen. But how many times can you go to that well and expect to have that result?
And Shopify knows the game is far from over. Frosty about to have all the goodies. Leaves the snipe for just a second because he has 1 rocket left to play with. But they're up 21-14. Formal still yet to register a kill in the game.
He's last alive though, Frosty.
Oh, this is big.
You were talking about his mathematics and his geometry. They're going to have to be pretty good to thread a needle on the snipe side with the angles that Optic Gaming are taking. Royal 2 and Cykul get kills though. Legend's last alive. Legend does get a kill himself. Frosty's still with this rocket. The trigger's busted.
Such good discipline from him. The question is, where's the snipe at right now? Good trade in the end. It's a killing spree for him. He'll take down Renegade. That's going to now be 3 dead, 4 dead, staggered. Shopify leading 28-18.
And surely they've managed to pick up that sniper rifle, you would imagine as well, that was sitting on that spawn for quite some time. LastShot though, just playing angles. Shopify Rebellion completely slowing this game down. Optic have to make plays. Those shots are absolutely disgusting from LastShot.
Beautifully done cross map as well, and just like that, it's 3 dead, 4 dead again. Bound is your first spawner, and it's only right. We got to get into a listening with Shopify Rebellion at 32-18.
Red cave and hiding in the back. In the back. Right, back 1 shot. Back blue elbow spawn. Back grade 1A to your right. Blue elbow spawn, Wyatt. Top rockets, guys. Nice. Another. Top rockets, Wyatt. Man on me, man. Help me, red cave. Blue elbow. Red cave. Rockets, dead. Red trench. Yeah, red trench.
Red trench, red trench, red trench, red trench. Kill red trench. Three shot red trench. Three shot red trench right now. He's going. So red trench one in. Grass. Red maze, one shot. Red maze on you. Top pyramid, one shot. Another one top pyramid, one shot. Pyramid, one more time.
Rockets 15.
One got maze. One shot red trench. Blue maze right now. Kill this guy. One in. Watch the search. I'm here, Preston.
Yo, Rockets guys. Rockets 5.
Nice fight. Yo, we're helping you white.
Rockets are still up, guys.
Thrust is down elbow.
Rockets are still up.
And it's all Shopify Rebellion from the listening. 42 to 25. Optic are reeling.
Unbelievable comms there from Shopify. The second we got to that listening, the intensity here from them to lead this way, even with the kill lead like they have here at 42 to 28, they find themselves 3 dead, but extreme intensity on their comms. It sounds amazing, and man, are they ever looking good here on the home stretch. 8 kills to go.
LastShot 12 and 7, 10 assists, shooting anything that moves. And I mentioned how Optic have an ability somehow to dig themselves out of holes.
Don't you dare.
42 to 31. Shopify Rebellion with a 3 and a 4 dead.
Snipe popping now.
Just saying. 1 in.
Let's see how these next few kills go then. They come back to me. Snipe up right now. 4v4 on the map. Game not over just yet.
Found a Lqgend get 2. 2 dead for Shopify Rebellion. Lqgend stays alive. Where did that sniper rifle go? To the hands of Renegade.
Oh boy. Now here's the question, right? Is it once again the same old story? Too little, too late for Optic Gaming. Have they let this game get out of hand?
10 kills the difference. Oh! How difficult was that shot to hit? LastShot gets taken down, but Optic lose 2. It's a good hold inside of their base, and now Renegade finds himself as last alive. It's 4 to go for Shopify Rebellion. And even with the body onto Frosty, they move closer and closer to closing out Game 5.
Such a smart play to isolate Renegade to not be a factor there. Then they turn around, now only 2 more kills to go.
2 to go, Formals, no shields. LastShot gets 1, LastShot gets 2, and LastShot pops off as Game 5 will belong to Shopify Rebellion. They send Optic Gaming down to the elimination bracket.
We knew this matchup would deliver. We just didn't know we would see it this early in the bracket. Once again, all the way to Game 5. In what is undeniably already the rivalry of the season. Shopify Rebellion will close out game number 5, 50 to 36. Off an unbelievable mid-game run. And not to mention trailing early yet again by 4 kills. And running away with the Game 5 Slayer.
An incredible Game 5 performance from them. I'm at a loss for words of how to describe these series we are seeing. This is a level of Halo Infinite that I don't think anyone expected to see. This extra year, everyone has mastered what was already there. The new game types gives us this exciting new element. But we are seeing games being decided by moments of brilliance. One insane shot, and it's now like the bar has been raised so much that certain shots get hit. We're like, yeah, we expect that now. And it takes something so unbelievable to move you in these kind of series that are so close. But at 50 to 36, that moment, that mid-game, that's the difference maker. It was disgusting from Shopify. The way they managed to cycle Optic.
How about Frosty off the opening?
Yeah,
damage from 3 players and hits a brainer like that to kick the game off. And then this shot.
Renegade was sliding.
And you start to think, maybe we should have seen what was coming if that's how Frosty decided to open the game. It was 10 to 6, then it was 20-11. It's perfect gameplay coming in from Shopify. These shots, like you said, the fadeaway to thread those needle shots across the map, unbelievable. We were during the listening here, just unbelievable. Look at the shot about finishes that kill because of perfect comms. Look at the pop off from LastShot.
My favorite bit about that pop off, by the way, is that Royal 2 looked like he wanted to, and then he was beaten to it.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what, you got this one.
What did we say? And what did Optic Gaming say themselves in the Optic Halo podcast? We need to work on our Slayers. Look at this series layout.
Yeah.
If Optic Gaming takes not just a Slayer, but if they get one final kill in a Slayer. They win the series. Do not forget it. 3-0. Instead, they let this thing go the distance and then get blown out in game number 5. There is clearly still Slayer work to do for Optic Gaming, and the rivalry is alive and well.
Well, absolutely incredible series. An amazing performance from Shopify Rebellion in game number 5. But again, Shopify versus Optic delivers for Halo fans. However you look at it, it's another incredible series. I think we've got Blaze on our main stage right now, ready for an interview with someone from Shopify Rebellion. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's got LastShot.